All right, we are live, and I will do my intro once Mikey is. What the hell are you doing, man? It's lighting shit on fire.
I'm lighting a candle. You're supposed to light them on fire.
Oh, yeah, that's true too. Is it a smelly candle or is it just?
It is vintage sandalwood.
Ooh,
I like it.
ooh.
There we go. Got out of focus.
Ah, yeah, Ease is in the chat there. I didn't see. See, I told you to join.
There you go. Yep, I was just finishing up a phone call with a client there.
Yeah, no worries.
So I did some power washing today, and I've got some pictures to share and stuff like that. So we'll get into that whenever you're ready. So, but I think more important is Hello, Dragons and Genesis podcast.
Howdy.
Wow, you speak well. I was listening to part of the show earlier. It's very interesting.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got a fancy looking microphone.
Yeah. I'd been using the same old mic for like 4 years, and I just finally got around to getting like a real area where I can record and not be interrupted by birds and dogs and children all the time, and a good microphone stand and camera and everything else. So now I just need a new computer because mine is a decade old.
Okay.
Yes.
Neil and I are currently doing renovations for a spot for the True North Talk program. So that'll be good. So we know what you've gone through.
Not that you can see it, but the logo's kind of up there in the background.
Oh, I see it. Yeah. You'd have to zoom in. I need to get a big one printed.
Yeah, I had a whole bunch of shit up on the walls, but the tape that I was using just wouldn't hold it up. Everything fell.
I was just going to say, so it kept falling down?
Yeah. Yeah, but that one just be printed on paper. And here's another one right here. So
Okay, there's the close-up.
there you go, right there. Which is our new channel. And I know that IQ is hiding in the chat there. And if IQ could find the link to that channel, I would appreciate it if everyone went over there and gave us a sub. We'll be up and running pretty soon. So
It's very easy.
Initial.
It's actually very easy. You can go to youtube.truenorthtalk.ca, and it'll take you straight to the channel.
Oh, hey, there you go.
On it.
Hello, Evans Murphy. Nice to see you in the chat again, my friend. It's been a while since I've seen Evans pop into one of these.
Oh, he made a brilliant meme about Jordan Peterson. I'll just bring it up and you can see it. It's just one of the funniest memes I've ever seen. I like to share it around once in a while. Evans Murphy did this. I think it was him. He knows the one I'm talking about here. So yeah, I'll just bring it up in a sec.
What did you do? Steal it and put it on your computer?
I saved a copy. Oh, he didn't mind.
Stealing is such a strong word.
I think maybe he said it and I made the meme. I don't remember. So I've made so many over the years.
There we go.
No, I'll definitely say that IQ is one of the hardest working moderators in the business right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He's all over everything. There you go.
He's like the Tupac of moderators.
I don't even know what that means.
He does. He'll take that in stride.
I've got a meme on that Tupac stuff for you too, but I'll start with this one. Here we go. Neil can put this up for everybody here. It's a brilliant idea. That was Evans Murphy came up with the words there, and so I stuck it on a bubble. It was perfect. Yeah. That happened in chat group that you run, Neil.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, that's where it came from.
I probably haven't. I just probably missed it or something.
Oh, a long time ago we did that.
What's this here? Oh.
Yeah, how are you doing, Mikey?
Oh, Lordy.
Wow.
Jemima Puddle Duck, you calm down over there. I am taken.
Oh.
I'm off the market. You missed your chance. But isn't that how it always works?
Yeah, I'm constantly missing my chances for things.
There's the 2-pack one for you.
Oh, geez.
I don't know how I should feel about that. I'm torn between love and loathe. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Real for real. You just got me back to the screen.
Well, we got to hand it to Patrick Stewart. He is quite a diverse actor. He's got incredible talent. Yeah,
It's true.
That might be very accurate, but he is not pulling off Tupac.
No.
I'm sorry.
well, that's a doctored picture. That's not him doing that.
That's an interesting point.
Oh, I'm gonna have to make a new variant of that.
Hello, Maya. Good to see you again.
Oh, Maya's here. Okay. She was just talking about Shanks on the Bouncy Guys channel yesterday. What's Critical Cripple? Yeah.
The bouncy guy.
The bounce.
Well, he's always bouncing, except that one time when he busted his yoga
Yeah.
ball. Yeah.
We know what you meant. You didn't have to clarify. Although we were bugging him about him busting his ball in that way, anyways, when it happened. So
The day.
That
That's
was
not-
weird. Glad he was okay. It was funny after we realized he's okay.
oh hell no, it was funny anyways.
It's funny you mentioned that because I'm having I have the worst crick in my neck because I slept on it wrong.
Oh.
And I've been thinking for over 2 years to get like one of those big yoga stretch ball things because it's good to sit on because it's good for your core and it makes you sit up the right way so your spine's aligned. Like you can't slouch in it. You have to sit up. And now that you just said that it just popped and I got these damn cats in here all the time that are loving to embarrass me.
Oh, they will smash.
Oh, they will wait for me to sit all the way down in there, be in the middle of a conversation, just
It'll just look good. It'll look.
give me the old Wolverine.
Well, I would recommend you talk to Critical Cripple about what are the higher quality ones to get. Then he probably knows.
Robert, whoops, hang on. What else is there to do besides gaming or watching Neil at 4 a.m.? You could be sleeping.
Yeah, I suspect that's the same choice I've made, but you know.
What
Yeah,
is
but
this sleep?
you've decided to join us, Sam, and which is great considering it's stupid o'clock in the morning for you right now.
That's a great time to be up.
And Ease, I think you're going to have to get a little closer to the microphone because you're kind of distant sounding.
I'm sorry. Yeah, well, actually, hold on. Let me actually finish this. I've been working on something. I just hit save. I'm just finally finishing it. So, how are
Okay.
everybody tonight? Yeah, sorry, I was a little slouched back. Good evening, guys.
Yeah, you're a
Jack,
professional
I actually
broadcaster.
saw you a couple of weeks on Brain Bug. I really enjoyed the podcast. I look forward to tomorrow's.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I had reached out to Brain Bug. I wanted to pick your brain. You ever dwelled into Hermeticism?
Not yet. It's on the to-do list. I kind of got sidetracked a few months ago with the Book of Enoch, which is batshit crazy but incredibly fun.
Enoch's fun.
I was, I was getting burnt out on Second Kings. I mean, I don't know. The Old Testament gets kind of tiresome after a while,
Yes.
and I needed a break. And it was either that or just quit the podcast and get lynched. So I detoured. I went into Enoch, and then I just kept getting deeper and deeper into all of that stuff because Enoch is way more fun than any part of the Bible. And so everything else kind of just got
He should
shoved
lead you.
aside.
He should lead you to Hermeticism. He's basically the. If you like, we could talk about it. It's just it goes down a long line of where Catholicism comes from. So
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah,
sure everybody knows what that word is, so we don't have to. I mean, if you want to like explain it for some people in the chat, don't know what
all right.
crematatisms is.
Yeah.
You know, maybe for some people in the chat, maybe they don't know.
Yeah, the creme brulee-ism.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I am glad to help.
It was related. Don't forget.
Gruntulated isms.
Yeah, that
What-
burlesquism is very important to early
Burlesquist.
Christianity.
Yeah.
Oh, I went down a whole different road. I'm sorry.
No worries.
But what's
I don't know. I just host these things. You guys.
It's philosophy for philosophers.
Wait, what? Say it again.
Philosophy for philosophers.
Okay.
so
Philosophy.
what's a metatism? What is that?
It's philosophy for philosophers.
No. Oh, that is it. What it is. Okay.
We're armchair philosophers, in other words.
Here you go, Mikey. Maybe you should start doing something.
There's gotta be. We tried putting tinfoil on like countertops because apparently they step on it and it like freaks them out. So maybe if I wrap it in tinfoil.
Because that won't sound annoying as fuck when you're on
Yeah.
mic.
Mikey, you might want to verify that. When I was a kid, we were told mothballs, the cats don't like them. So we put them in the garden. Next day, we see a cat sitting there with one paw on a mothball. They'll probably surprise you the same way.
So, is it Hermetics? Is that what you guys were talking about?
Hermeticism was in the writings of Hermes Trismegistus, I think it is.
Yes. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, where the Trinity comes from, where all the Trinity comes from. Hermeticism.
Yeah, tinfoil won't work either. So,
Cool.
That's just.
There's your
I like
answer, Mikey.
the
Tinfoil just attract them.
cheapest cat toy you can get is just roll up a ball of tinfoil, throw it on the floor. Cats go nuts.
The bread tie. They go insane for bread ties.
Yep.
Yeah, combine that with a laser pointer, and you'll have double the fun.
The cat might explode.
That in cardboard.
I'm not cleaning that up.
No, hermeneutics is something different.
Yeah, that's way something different.
That's what I was thinking you guys were talking about. I heard the same thing she did.
No.
Who is Herman?
Herman. Wasn't it Groucho's brother? What was Groucho's brother? Or his cousin?
Groucho's brother?
Didn't he have like a cousin or something?
Oscar the Grouch.
Oscar, right? What did I say?
I'm just lying.
Neil's beard is better than
Oscar had a relative. There was another garbage monster, and I forget his name.
Oscar the Grouch.
Wasn't it Herman?
It was Oscar the Grouch.
And then there was another.
Oh, there was a Grouch brother? All right,
Yeah,
I'm on it.
something like that.
Groucho's brother. Whoops, hang on. Harpo.
Harper.
Oh, hey, Dave. How you doing? It's been a while since I've seen him in the
Oh,
show.
his name was Ernest.
Nah. He did. Okay, was it a brother or a cousin?
Ernest the Grouch is Oscar's brother.
Brother. All right. Did have a brother.
Ernest the Grouch? What?
Yeah. He had a brother.
And his name was Ernest.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'll pull him up on screen.
I've never heard of this guy.
Yeah.
That's not Ernest. That's Oscar.
That's Oscar.
No, they had different different
I totally
eyebrows.
was-
Definitely there. The other one was brown.
No, he wasn't.
Nug of weed.
Let me pull it down.
Just smoke me some Oscar.
Yo, you got some of that good Oscar, man? What's good?
Got some of that good Oscar going on.
Down the
And if
west
you get
coast.
grouchy when you get the munchies, you just have a Snickers to fix it, right?
There he is. Yeah.
Oh, that's Orange Brother. Now, what
No,
flavor
I think
of weed?
this
What
is
flavor of
Ernest.
weed would be orange, Neil?
What?
Moroccan.
It naturally produces orange, so it would be orange.
Oh,
So, Moroccan. There's a Moroccan strain of weed which smells a bit like cinnamon, and that's orange.
Mhm.
oh, okay.
Yeah, it naturally produces terpenes or citrus terpenes. Lemon
So 2 nugs of weed then. All right,
Huh?
2 giant nugs of weed in that picture.
There
Then
you go. 2 giant legs.
Yo, the subliminal messaging they was putting out there to the kids back in the 70s was not right. They was just telling them about the different strains of reed.
All day. All day.
You want to hear a
What's
funny?
wrong with a lot of Sesame Street how to count, how to add, how to
Mm-hmm.
rate things, how to separate things.
When I was a little kid, and I remember going for the Halloween trick or treating. I barely remember this, but my mom told me that I had done this. We go around this in the story, and back in those days, there weren't a lot. I think there was a couple of families in our neighborhood of black folks that lived there, and we got to one of their houses, and the guy opened up the door, and I was like, trick or treat, and then I asked him if he was Gordon from Sesame Street.
Messed up.
Well, my mom, I was like 4 or something. I didn't know.
How dare you?
I know, and he just laughed. He said, "No," but I'm told I look a lot like him. And my mom's kind of like, "I'm sorry, he doesn't realize it."
Did he have a big Steve Harvey mustache and a bald head? Because if so, that's not your fault.
Yeah, well, he was. He did. He was a bald head guy, and he did have a mustache that I remember.
Oh, that was Gordon. He was lying.
He was like,
he didn't want to sign autographs.
Yeah,
either that or it was Steve Harvey. But Steve Harvey hates atheists.
Yeah, he's a moron.
Yeah, I remember Steve Harvey was saying, if I met an atheist, I wouldn't know what to say to them. I wouldn't know how to talk to them. And I'm thinking, talk to normal people.
He works with a bunch of them, man. Come on, that's just.
Yeah, he's just an arrogant prick.
I suspect I'm going to run into the same problem when I'm eventually allowed back out of lockdown, because I've decided I want to try and go to one of each denomination of church that there is around me, including the LDS church and the Jehovah's Witnesses and stuff. I'm just going to try and sit in on one sermon for each of them.
That's brave.
No, I'm good.
Why?
Yeah, why?
Pass.
Because I fell down a rabbit hole this afternoon and it would amuse me.
Oh, well, okay.
It's if you have a purpose.
Man, y'all just be wasting y'all free time.
Yep.
Yeah, Mikey, maybe I should waste your free time with a joke.
Oh, no. Don't you do it again. I swear to God, we will import you to America so fast your little head will spin.
What happened, Dave? You get eliminated for work? Does that mean you got fired, or? That's no good.
That sucks, especially in these times.
Oh, see, yeah. So I'm not the only one.
So
Randall is hot. And he's
all right,
very
let me drop out and then.
I just muted. Is that better?
Well, muting. Yeah, just your. I guess the mic volume is turned up quite a bit because you are kind of loud, but that's okay. Oh, your position was eliminated from the company. I got you. So.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it's too bad. And I'd say I could get you a job where I work, but A, you probably wouldn't want to work there, and B, it's we're not really hiring right now. Anyways, with the whole COVID thing, a lot of the positions are not available. Let's just put it that way.
Check.
Yeah, better.
All right.
I just turned my mic volume down. Is this better?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Yes,
Thank you.
Because you had the gain, I guess, up a little bit, so you could hear all the background where you were too, like just. The
I don't want to cause those problems. Yeah.
Any good producer will tell you gain and volume are not the same. IQ.
Fuck.
He's the replacement for two Picard.
What in the fuck is that?
What's up with you? No, if you look really, really closely,
His eyes are IQs.
That's
Full screen
what I
of Neil.
suspected, yeah.
Hang on. I'm going to showcase this guy. There we go. Oh,
Wow.
Wow. Nice.
I told you it was a Tupac of mods. Street legend.
yeah. Kind of a good point. It's an after show. It'd feel wrong if the levels were good.
Yeah.
Not only that, I can't control people's levels, so it's always up to them. Oh, there you go, IQ.
I'll do your body,
Hi,
baby.
Kristen. Hi.
Hey, Kristen.
I heard from somebody that IQ has mod life tattooed across his belly.
We need photos of that.
Yeah, right? And I did a couple of things today that you'll probably see pop up in their coming videos. One of them was for X-Cult Baby. Rudy, they've been kind of on a hiatus from doing the YouTube stuff for a couple of months. So Rudy came around and asked some people to do a where's Rudy? Have you seen Rudy kind of thing going on? Just give me a minute, Randall.
No, it's okay. Take your time.
So I took my actual camera and went around the house, like looking in the fridge and in the oven and in my lunchbox. Rudy, doing stuff like that. So it should be pretty funny when they finally put it together and air it. And then Beelzebub asked me to do a really cheesy pickup line that I once told him. I guess he has some people doing some pickup lines, and the one he wanted me to do is the one that I had mentioned to him once before about. I can't. How to go now? Oh yeah, and I just did it earlier. So it's hey, that's a nice dress you got there. It'll look better crumpled up on my floor in the morning.
Oh.
So yeah, the creepy guy kind of pickup line.
Oldie but goldie, I guess.
This one's for you, Inquisitive Quandary. This is a picture of the black hole that was discovered recently, and then they zoomed out and figured out where the picture really came from.
Yeah.
See, Snoop Dogg had it figured out in the 90s.
Yeah.
Everything has an explanation.
Yo, with the shit that he smokes, you could probably see a black hole.
Yeah. You ever seen? You don't roll joints. You don't even roll cigars. I don't know what the fuck them shits are. Like,
Wait a second here. Yeah, no, carry on, Ease.
Oh no. Yeah, they're pretty. They're just ridiculous. There's like no reason to smoke that much shit. He smokes like he knows something.
When he sprinkles moon rock and sun rock on shit.
What? Like why, man? Nah.
You'll go into a coma.
Yeah.
Was that
Mikey, are you familiar with someone named Jemima Puddle Duck?
Oh, that's my secret admirer.
Super fan.
Okay. Yeah, they're admiring you right now.
That shit ain't no secret.
Super fan.
My secret admirer.
I just love how there's no extra E in sexy, by the way, Jemima.
It is when you're talking about me, baby. It is when you're talking about me.
I was thinking there's going to be some line like that.
Put the second E in sexy.
You should be putting a triple X. Mikey, you should be putting a triple X in there.
Sex A. Wouldn't that be sex A?
Sexy.
A.
I mean, I'm not going to shame Puddle Duck. Go ahead, do your thing. But I know when Puddle Duck shows up in the chat, somebody's getting a groping.
Oh no!
Sucks, Brian.
Damn it!
You gotta stop throwing it in the air to celebrate the capture of the poop because it's only a matter of time. You're just rolling the die. You're rolling a D20 every time.
Oh, it was regarding the pickup line. Yeah, I usually got a drink poured on me after that one, so there you go.
It just kind of sounds like.
Just kidding. I never actually.
Free drinks, yay!
Yeah. If I was quick enough to go.
They'd say you're right in character then.
I don't think I've ever been. Has anybody ever had a pickup line thrown at them? I've never. A girl has never, or a guy has never thrown a pickup line at me.
I can't remember. They probably have.
The only time I've had pickup lines thrown at me was when I was already dating a person who we were fucking about.
Yeah, I have a face made for radio, so I don't have that kind of problem.
What are you talking about? That's what people used to tell me too.
Honestly, I should do these interviews wearing like a brown bag with some eye holes cut in it. You'd probably get more views that way.
Like
thrown at you like verbally, or like you're sitting at the bar and like this wadded up ball of paper hits you in the back of the head. What the fuck was that? Like you pick it up and it just says "sup."
Oh, those were. Oh man, I've been missing out. Okay.
I was getting pickup bottles thrown at me.
Oh,
Message in a bottle, maybe.
Oh, you're going for the high out of reach stuff there, Mikey.
It was a stretch. I'm not gonna.
There you
I
go.
probably pulled something in my lower back going for that joke. Yeah, not gonna front.
Well, you have high standards. That's what it sounds like.
Got to keep the bar up, man. Keep the bar up.
Does
Yeah,
you want a
what,
beer count as a pickup line? Could.
Yeah. That's actually been done to me.
Probably depends on the beer.
Want to fuck? Quick and to the point.
Fast, quick.
I was invited once to a Wiccan ceremony at a place I worked a long time ago, and I didn't go. Neil knows about this. It was apparently called the Raising of the Cone, and it was. I found out on Monday. The other coworker that she asked after me, he said he was exhausted. It was just lots of sex the whole weekend.
Oh,
He was the
they
only guy.
invited you to like a Wiccan ceremony.
Yeah.
Boy, did they drop the ball a little bit?
Well-
A little misjudge of character, huh?
No, she was very nice. If I was single, I probably would have gone. I had no idea what to expect, though. I didn't know there was going to be any of that stuff going on. So I asked the guy. He was telling me how exhausting it was, and I said, "So, would you do it again?" And he said, "Oh, hell yes."
Wow.
Yeah.
Why did shit never happen like that? Never happened to me when I was younger.
Hey, it didn't happen to me
I get
either. It happened like
dirt on my
coworkers.
face. I get people going, ew, no, and walking away. Stuff
And
like that.
then Neil goes for the eyeballs. Just bam. Plop them right out. I'll teach you.
Dragons in Genesis. I'm curious about the dragons part.
Oh, it's dragons in the Bible, man.
Oh, really? Is that what it is?
yeah. When I was trying to come up with a name of what to call the show, I'd recently had a discussion with someone about the ludicrous ideas coming out of Ken Ham and his whole answers in Genesis. And at the time, he was working on raising funds to build a giant boat in the mountains and fill it with dinosaurs. And so I was like, I'm going to kind of take a jab at that, nitwit. And so the name, Dragons in Genesis is sort of like, I guess just like a different approach. He goes to the Bible looking for answers. I go to it looking for mythology and all the fun stuff. Because there aren't very many good answers in the Bible, but there are some dragons. So,
Well, dragons are cool.
Dragons are cool.
Dragons are always cool.
Is there any cool monster you found in the Bible that you forgot to talk about in the first show?
A bunch of them. There's
All right, give me your top 100.
Awesome.
Okay,
Oh,
Mikey,
yeah.
now you've set the bar kind of low here.
Yeah.
Hold on, before you go in that, should I get my Power Ranger suit on?
Yeah, dude. I mean, there are kaiju
You know what I'm talking
in the
about, right?
Bible. You got to get the Power Rangers.
This arc.
They
This
have
rainbow arc. Yeah.
Yeah.
about the kaiju.
So I believe in the first episode I did with Brainbug, we talked about the three primordial beasts, which were the Leviathan, the Z's, and the Behemoth. And we also talked about
Good band.
Lilith and something else, but I forget. And then the most
Monster
recent.
Eve.
Oh, what's that?
Lilith's not a monster. is she?
Oh yeah, Lilith was a monster. Lilith was actually not a person. Lilith was a race of wilderness demons that would attack you in your sleep, and it was basically a way to explain anything that happened at night, like nightmares, nocturnal emissions, sleep paralysis, all sorts of stuff. Sudden infant death syndrome. If it happened after dark and it was bad, the Lilith did it. And it wasn't one thing. It was a bunch of, it was basically a race of demons.
Now,
And then what happened was between the 7th and 9th century AD, Jewish scribes realized for the first time that there were contradictions in the Bible.
What?
Yes.
Get him out
It
of
was
here,
shocking
Neil.
to me too. I am just
I was in that
blown away.
moment, like, whoa, like whoa.
Oh yes,
was
yes. Someone
like,
in the chat just asked, Lilith was a succubus. Basically, it was the Near Eastern version of one. Yeah. And so what happened was, whenever they were kind of like forming the Masoretic text and stuff, they noticed that if you read Genesis 1, you have this whole 6-day creation story, and then you read Genesis 2, where you have this Garden of Eden creation story, which were two entirely different myths from two entirely different cultures that did not belong together. There's a problem, because at the end of the 6-day creation, men and women are created. And then it goes into the creation of Adam in Genesis 2 with the Garden of Eden story, and then later Eve is created. And they were trying to read this as one continuous narrative instead of two completely separate stories. And so they had this problem. Well, if men and women were created in the 6-day creation story, and then later Adam's rib is taken out and that makes Eve, what happened to those women in the beginning? And so what they tried to do was say, okay, on the 6th day, God created men and women. And the man was Adam. But what about the woman? They said, okay, we're going to take the myth of these nocturnal demons, and we're going to say that they came from this first woman in Genesis chapter 1. And this first woman is like the first wife of Adam. And then they invented this entire story where she gets kicked out of the garden because she didn't want to be on the bottom when they had sex. And so they kicked her out. And Adam's like, look, I want to be on top. And she don't like that.
That's a deal breaker.
Right. I want a woman who just likes missionary, because that's God's way of having sex. And Yahweh's like,
That's boring.
he's like, I got you. And so he kicks Lilith out.
Yeah, he kicked her to the land of Nod or something, right?
Yeah. He's like, boo. And then she goes east, and that's it. And then he puts Adam to sleep, takes out a rib. He makes this woman. Okay, now she was basically born of you. She's now subservient. Cool. And then they said, wait a second, this is brilliant, because at the end of that story, at the end of chapter 3, Adam and Eve, they get kicked out of the garden. They don't have access to the tree of life. They get cursed with mortality. They're now going to die. But Lilith wasn't subjected to that curse. And so Lilith can live forever. And now she becomes the night demons that live in the wilderness and attack people in the sleep and kill your babies and cause miscarriages and all kind of other things. And that's where that whole story came from.
How charming.
Real quick, I've been into this just like you, and I've gone down that road, and I ended up hearing a story that debunked that particular narrative. As far as so the way they said it is like all of that, the way Dragon just explained it is on point. So that's what the church basically did to incorporate demons, and Lilith gave birth to all these demons, etc. The other way that they've explained it is that they took a pagan symbol, like you've ever seen, like just this figure of a headless woman with a big, large breast and a belly. That kind of represents Mother Earth from
yes,
from ancient times. So one of the reasons that they demonized this figure of a powerful woman, Mother Earth, was to call her Lilith and write her into the Bible as demon maker, to hide the paganism behind the statue.
The deal with that was actually that Lilith was a goddess from a nearby tribe, and what the Israelites tended to do was kind of try and absorb the people around them's mythology into theirs, but of course, because they only worshipped Yahweh, who was from another tribe near them in the first place, they named the gods of the surrounding people demons and said they were evil spirits. And so Lilith was considered one of these demons and that is where the idea of Lilith originally came from.
You know, I've heard from one person that Lilith used to be God's wife.
No.
That two-timing bitch.
Yep.
That would be
Some people say-
Asherah or Anat. Those were
Oh, okay.
those were consorts.
And some
Um,
people say Satan's wife, but I don't recall anything related
have
to
heard that one
besides
too.
which Satan was
Yeah.
a whole thing to do with.
That three-timing bitch.
Yep. I've heard Satan's like. I haven't heard
Yeah,
that, but I have heard
that's
Satan-
one of those things that got added into the myth. Like after Lilith gets kicked out of the Garden of Eden, then
Start
she
being a
she
hoe.
runs off and she has sex with a bunch of demons, and that's where all the monsters came from. I even heard that that's where Grendel came from Beowulf,
Yep.
all kind of stuff. Basically, all the monsters in the Bible, they all came from Lilith because she slept with all the demons.
Wow.
It's,
No,
Get
she
your
gave
freak
birth.
on, Lily.
it's
Sounds
a
like-
giant mess.
The way I heard she gave
Sounds
birth-
like Lilith had an exciting life.
Oh,
Yeah, she did. Fantastic. character.
Lilith was getting it in. Fuck it,
There's
I'll
a
talk
role
about it.
model for you.
Lilith was
She's
getting it.
multicultural, cosmopolitan.
She's getting it bopping out there.
Lilith was the first feminist. That's all.
I thought Satan was, or was Satan also female?
So Satan was, I think, a male representation
Yeah.
of the morning star, which was attributed to Aphrodite, an early form thereof, and then that was adopted into a Homeric poem or something. And then, basically, when the Roman Empire invaded lots of places, they dragged Greek influence everywhere, and the Jewish culture, which actually was polytheistic a while back,
Mhm.
ended up getting
Originally, yeah.
Yeah.
Before
ended
Jewish
up getting
became a
really influenced by a lot of Greek ideas, especially Platonism. Platonism.
Yeah, the Satan. Actually, I was on what was it? The Daily Atheist Morning Show. I think last month did a
Good
whole
show.
episode just on the complex origins of Satan, because it's like you have the idea of Satan as a sort of prosecutor who works for Yahweh, as you see in like the book of Job, but then
Hence
you
the
also
term
have
devil's
this
advocate.
idea, and you have this idea of this fallen star, the Lucifer character, the morning star, that was linked with the planet Venus, and you see that in reference with the some of these like divine kings, like the king of Babylon and things like that, and it also gets kind of they take a bunch of these different things that they don't like and they kind of just roll them into this one character, like the Leviathan, the great water dragon, that gets rolled in. Basically, anything they don't like becomes Satan. Anything they do like becomes Yahweh, and that's how you get this nice, neat little dualism
Seems
and
legit.
all these amazing contradictions.
It also originally spawned from the concept that Yahweh created all of the evil as well, because the word demon comes from daimon, and daimon originally meant, well, within Judaism, it meant messenger of God. And it got twisted later because daimon was then often used in relation to someone being tested. And so then weird things happen with translation, where sometimes it said an angel from God tested someone, and sometimes it said it was the enemy, when really it was the same word.
Yeah, because the original.
It was Hashatan, which meant Ha is the, and Shatan means adversary.
Yeah, because he was originally basically just someone who worked against you, who would test you. You see that in I believe, was it the book of Numbers with Balaam? He's riding his magic talking donkey. He's going to consult some kings,
Like Shrek.
Right. And Yahweh, who sent him on this errand, changes his mind and is like, no, I don't want Balaam to go and talk to these guys. And so he sends a Satan to guard the road and stand in his way and oppose him. And if he crosses an invisible line, then this Satan, this angel who opposes Balaam, is going to kill him. But luckily, the donkey can see invisible angels, and it can also talk. And he's like, dude,
Yeah.
do you not see what's up here? And he then gets in an argument with his donkey, and I'm not making any of this up. And then
He was like,
Yeah.
I'm making waffles.
Yeah.
and it gets even worse than that, because like the Satan comes up, this angel that works for Yahweh, and he's like, dude, why are you beating your donkey? And Balaam's like, whoa, there's an angel with a flaming sword here. And he's like, look, if you had kept going, I was going to kill you because Yahweh told me to. And then he's like, oh, okay, well, I'll go back then. And then he's like, oh, no, it's good. You can go on and talk to the kings. And it's like, what the hell is the point in blocking the road? But yeah, so it's originally Satan's. They were angels who worked for Yahweh, and they would oppose people, or they would test people, like in the story of Job. Is this guy really faithful? Okay, Yahweh will send a Satan to go and test him. And if he's faithful, he'll pass the test. If not, well, then he won't, and then you can punish the dude. And once you have influence from Zoroastrianism, where you have this nice little linguistic connection, because you have Ahriman the opposer, which would translate to Ahriman ha-Satan, the opposer or the adversary. And they're adopting this idea of this great cosmic evil. Well, then they kind of retrofit this adversarial angel to be this cosmic evil, and it kind of solves a problem, because as they become monotheistic, you get rid of all your other deities, which would cause problems on Earth, and that leads you to verses like Isaiah 45:7, where it says, "I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things." And they're like, I kind of don't want to worship a God that's also evil. But then if you take your Satan and you retrofit him to kind of match up with this Ahriman the opposer, this Zoroastrian bad guy, then it's like, that fixes our problem. Because that's the problem all monotheistic religions have. They're like, we need a bad guy. Otherwise, where does evil come from? We got to blame Yahweh for it. Right? You have to have the scapegoat.
My greatest work.
And that totally explains Baphomet. The scapegoat is that. I don't know what the origins of scapegoat is, but that makes sense.
Scapegoat was a ritual to do with whenever they sacrificed an animal to Yahweh, they would also send an animal into the wilderness to Azazel. I think.
Yeah, Azazel. Yeah, the demon trapped in the pit in the wilderness. It was part of an atonement ritual that goes back actually to like ancient Canaan. You basically take two identical goats, and I have an entire episode about this. I think it's called Atonement. It was about a year ago, I guess. And you have this whole thing where you have two goats that are basically identical. And what you do is one goat, the good goat, gets killed, and its blood is basically splashed all over the temple. And this represents the blood of the good God, your dying and rising God, because we've got those going back, 5,000-6,000 years. The blood of the good God, the blood of this goat, gets splashed all around the temple, which represents creation. And this connects the temple, the creation, with this blood sacrifice. And then the priest would basically take this blood and put some of it on this other goat, the evil goat.
Oh, that's
and then
fucked up.
this basically takes all the sin of the universe and it brings it into one spot, and you transfer it onto this animal, and you don't kill this animal, because if you do, you basically just release the sin. So what do? You take the sin, you take all the corruption, and you put it back where it belongs, in this pit out in the wilderness where Azazel dwells. And so you take this goat that is now all the bad stuff has been transferred onto it, and you now bring it out into the wilderness and you throw it into this pit. And now the world can continue to exist for another year, because all the corruption has been transferred through the power of a good goat that was sacrificed onto the evil goat that has been returned to the desert demon Azazel.
That's some bullshit. No. That's like dipping me in honey and putting me in a grizzly bear pit. Like, fuck that. Like, fuck that.
I noticed that you refer to Satan as the Satan, and I've encountered a few scholars who refer to Satan as the Satan. It's like it's a position. But before you get into that, I think Best Name Ever's question looks interesting. It's showcased here on the screen. She's asking, have any of you seen the show Lucifer? Is that accurate in any way, shape, or form? And she tagged Neil. So I'm not familiar with that show.
I am
No idea. Never seen it. Don't
I
care.
am aware of it, and I don't think
It's not accurate.
really accurate.
Yeah.
I was going to say I've not actually seen it, but from all my friends who have, it did not seem accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I haven't
It's
been. I don't think it's accurate.
It's a CW show, for fuck's sake. How accurate is it going to be?
Can I get full screen for 1 second, Neil, so I can show off the sweetest?
Then I want to hear about the
background
Satan.
I have.
I want to hear the significance of that.
This is the sweetest
So that
background
comes
I've done.
that comes from the term Satan and the fact that it was a position of the person currently challenging someone on behalf of God.
The advocate.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Or
Yeah,
adversary.
And
Yeah.
it wasn't a
I don't see what
proper
I'm supposed
name.
to
It
put up.
wasn't an individual. It was essentially a job title. It was a description.
Wow.
Think of it like a prosecuting attorney and an undercover agent. And it basically just meant someone who worked against you. The angel with the flaming sword outside the Garden of Eden to prevent people from getting back in could be thought of as a Satan. And not only does it have the same description as the first mention of Satan in the Balaam story, but it serves the same purpose. It's to stand against people who would try to gain entry. And that's all the term meant. It meant an adversary, someone who works against you. Yahweh is actually a Satan in one of the stories in 2 Kings when he comes in and he tells David to conduct a census. And he's not supposed to conduct a census, but Yahweh tells him to, and David does it. And then the land of Israel is then punished because David was supposed to somehow know to not do a census because apparently counting is wrong or something. And so
Only on the Sabbath.
yeah. And so, right, he's like, oh shit, it was Saturday. I forgot to check the calendar. And so in that role, and I think when they recount the tale in Chronicles, they say that it was a Satan that gave the command. Well, it was Yahweh who commanded him. But a Satan is not an evil thing, not yet. Their theology doesn't
Just
have
an
that
adversary.
yet.
Yeah.
It's just an accuser, someone who works against you. And these were angels who worked for Yahweh. So yeah, in the Old Testament, don't think of a Satan as someone evil. It's not.
No.
Interesting. That is fascinating.
It might have been Genesis 33 where Jacob wrestles with God. Interestingly enough, that is not commonly considered a Satan unless I'm mixing up my translations there.
Yeah, they kind of call it a stranger, but in really, really old copies of it, it straight up says God. It says El, and that actually makes sense because he. And so to give it some context for people who haven't nerded out over the Bible, Jacob got into an argument with his brother Esau, who was a total badass, and Jacob kind of ran away so his brother wouldn't kick his ass. And then he's coming back to Israel, and he's about to cross the river Jabbok, and this mysterious figure shows up in the middle of the night and gets in a fist fight with him. They get in this wrestling match on the banks of the river, and Jacob wins. He pins him down, and this figure basically punches him in the nuts. It says he touched him in the hollow of the thigh, and
That's your ball sack right there.
This is almost sounding like a South Park episode.
In ancient times, to bite another man in his privates in a fight meant defeating him, just like the animal kingdom.
Yeah, and so they do that, but Jacob, despite the fact that this figure cheats, Jacob still pins him down, and he's like, "Okay, look, I give up. You gotta let me go because the dawn is coming," which kind of doesn't make much sense. And then you find out that this is like this divine figure. Jacob just wrestled like a freaking deity, and he won. And then the deity gets up and he gives him this blessing. And it's a two-part blessing. The first part deals with like his name and his legacy, and the second part deals with the fact that he will eventually overcome a bunch of enemies and stuff. That has parallels to the Epic of Gilgamesh. That whole scene is taken straight out of Gilgamesh and other tales. And in some of these other tales is very similar, because the guy gets in a fight with the deity, and it's a sun god, and he has to let him up before the dawn so the god can go to the east and pick up the sun and carry it across the sky, which makes sense because Jacob has to let this dude up so he can go pick up the sky, go pick up the sun. And this thing.
Who hasn't had to pick up their son?
What's that?
Who hasn't had to pick up their son?
Right?
You know what I mean? You gotta pick him up.
Yeah, and then he
Baby mama be tripping.
He after he does this, this being gets up. In later translations, they say angel, but you get our oldest copies, and it just says El, which is a Hebrew word for God. And he renames Jacob. He's like, Jacob, you get a new name, and your name is Israel, which means struggles with God. And so he's basically saying, you just got in a fight with God, and you won despite the fact that God cheated, which sounds bizarre, but in ancient theology, their gods were not these all-powerful beings. They would walk around and they would like sit down and eat meals. They would get into fights with people and stuff like that. Like in Judges 1:9, where Yahweh gets in a fight with a metal wagon and loses. They weren't these all-powerful things. No, I'm not joking about that. He lost the fight to a metal wagon.
Well, in the Old Testament, he wasn't all
Iron
powerful.
Chariot.
He only became more powerful after Plato was introduced, because they adopted a Platonic idea of God, which is when the Omni traits came in, actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
So there was a later edition then.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Old Testament is actually very polytheistic, and their gods are a lot more like your Greek gods than
Tons of mice.
your idea of capital G God.
Yeah.
Can I be that awkward polytheist to point out that we use capital G for all the gods?
Yeah, sure you can.
If it's a god, then they get a capital G.
Don't know why, but I wanted to address a couple of things that are going on in the chat. Seaski asked if I was a biker. I've never really I have owned motorcycles, but I've never really considered myself a biker, so to speak. Although I've been called one many times, and a pirate, and a Viking, and so I just became Neil, the 604 atheist biker, Viking pirate guy. So, and also the whole Lucifer show with the Azrael, or was it Azrael? The best name ever was talking about.
The show called Lucifer.
Yeah, I know, but she's talking about.
So yes, I commented actually in the comments about that. Azrael is in Judaism and Islam, but funnily enough, not Christianity, an angel of death. But then Abaddon is related to that. I don't remember how exactly, but
all their names end in L, which means of God. Whatever their names are, something of God, hand of God, word of God. So,
which language is that from?
Better
Hebrew,
than God,
ancient Hebrew.
shorter than
Hebrew.
God,
Okay.
wider than
Azazel,
God.
Raviel, Samael. There's all kinds of them.
Raziel.
Yeah. Abaddon, I believe, was like that was Greek. That was I can't remember. It's been a while since I looked at it, but Abaddon was like this Greek force of destruction that gets referenced in Revelation. And he has a pit that opens up full of locusts that come out.
Yeah. When you get to Megalodon, Megadon, I forgot what his Megas, whatever. That's Enoch, also known as Hermes. And that's why I was like, you'll get there if you're reading Enoch. You'll get to it.
I was thinking the same as Susan there.
This is my greatest work.
Theo, I'm designing shirts, and actually Ease is actually doing most of the designing for me. for Sons of Atheism, just like Sons of Anarchy, North America. It'll say underneath. So I'll have those T-shirts.
That's what I was actually finishing right now, so I'll have it for you tomorrow.
Since someone brought it up in the chat, can you put me full screen, please, so people can see the greatest background that I've ever constructed in my entire life?
You're talking about that. You're talking about.
Yeah, I had the same question as Susan. I wondered the same thing. I mean, yeah.
This is the best part ever. Like when you see the fog come out of his mouth, the steam, because he's a monster. Oh yeah,
Ooh, there it goes. I thought that was Teen Wolf for a second.
Oh
They
hell,
filmed it in a cold place, I guess.
his breath was just that hot, I guess.
Was it that
It was 90 degrees that day. His breath was just hot.
Why are you wearing a jacket? Hold on, I thought it was Teen Wolf. He's wearing. Is he not wearing a jersey like
A Letterman?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's wearing a Letterman jacket. But he wore it in Thriller in the movie before the video.
God, that's what I'm watching.
That's the movie before the girlfriend walks out said, I wasn't that scared.
That's
Susan, they'll be available on my merch store when I get it going.
I'm with it. I rocks with that.
Simply secular.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know, he's not the only one that has to get nailed today. Should you be so lucky if you play your cards right?
I'm sure some of the Romans did that as well, given it was socially acceptable.
Gross.
Oh,
Earth is gross. Can I get off now?
well.
Can I leave?
Look, if you're gonna get off, just don't do it on video. Just like,
yeah, please, or at least
turn
clean
the
it up.
camera off. You know, mute your mic, please.
The judgment.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, how would that happen? Like, would we wait for? No, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. I say, just get off.
Onlyfans.com/Mikey the God, if you guys haven't seen my new title.
Wait, Susan's not modded? Holy crap.
Wow, that's disrespectful.
Or you could just go to the deviants.com.
Oh, inside joke. Don't go to that website. Whatever you do, I'm not responsible for it. I stopped paying for the hosting and bad things happened.
Don't be
Oh,
deviant.
I'm not letting that one go for so
Oh,
long.
man.
Hobson's nails do the job every time.
Like Billy D. Williams with the Colt 45 commercials.
Mm.
Colt 45 works every time. I was like, yo, I know he's not trying to bag girls. Sliding them a Colt 45 across the bar, because that doesn't happen. If there's a bar serving Colt 45, line me up. I will be the first one there. That is the trashiest of trash. But it works every time.
Damn it.
So we got to Lilith, and then we got distracted. Are there any other cool monsters?
Oh, there's
What's the
there's a
coolest?
cow about the size of Mount Everest in there.
What?
It's called the Reem.
Holy
Oh,
cow.
Godzilla.
Holy
Um,
cow.
Right.
Oh, I see. What
Um,
you're saying.
Nobody else is going to say it.
And so that was pretty cool. The King James Bible mistranslates it into unicorn because they had no idea what the hell a reem was in the 17th century, and they were just like, okay, it's strong, it has horns, unicorn, go. Right, yeah,
Not a rhinoceros.
they were trying to link it to unicorn, that they were trying to link to rhinoceros, but yeah, there's a thing in Canaanite mythology called a reem. We know what that is. It's a giant cow.
Maybe the mountain range was its back, because you know how rhinos have like that weird shaped back, long ass face.
Actually, there is a story. It's not in the Bible, but there's a story that I believe King David was climbing over a mountain. And when he got on the back of it, the mountain range started to move. And he realized he was climbing the back of a sleeping reem. And he freaked out. And he basically had to slide down the mountain and get away before it basically ran off without him. That's how he escaped, from falling off a reem. So yeah, they were literally the size of mountains, and King David climbed over one and thought it was a mountain range.
I saw that in the documentary The Hobbit.
Stupid.
Yeah.
It happened to Bilbo. He thought he was just going on a mountain pass, and then it started fighting with the other mountain pass. It's the whole thing.
Yep. Yeah. There's also the Z's, which is a giant bird, and I don't mean like big. No, I mean there's a story where there are these sailors who are they're cruising, and there's they see this bird standing in the water, and the water only comes up to its ankles, and they're like, oh well, the water must not be too deep. Let's hop off the boat and just go wade around in the water. And they're about to jump off the boat, and an angel appears to them and says, no, don't get off the boat. Because this bird, this isn't a normal bird that you're seeing up close in ankle-deep water. This is the Z's, okay? That Z-I-Z. They're like, this is the Z's. This thing is so tall that once, 5 years ago, a man dropped an axe head over the deck of the boat right here, and it is still sinking to the bottom to this day. That's how deep the water is, and this bird, his feet reach all the way to the bottom. And they're like, whoa! And so they don't jump out of the boat to go walking around in this shallow water, because they now realize it's super deep, like, I don't know, 500 miles deep or whatever. And so that's how big this bird is. It says that if this bird stood on top of the head of the behemoth, then the bird's beak would reach all the way up into heaven, up into the firmament. So that's how big this Z's is,
And then he got a job on Sesame Street.
Right? Yeah, he's bright. Actually, there's something funny about the name. So the name Z-I-Z, and it basically, and there was one description of it. They said that the Z's, because at the end of the world in their whole eschatology, Yahweh was going to kill the Leviathan, the Behemoth, and the Z's and feed it to all the righteous people. And this giant feast of monsters. And they say the Z's, it tastes like ze and ze, which basically means like this and that. So they're kind of saying that this bird tastes like everything. So I think they're saying that like it tastes like chicken. So we have like 2,500-year-old stories that are like, chicken kind of tastes like everything.
And
including a giant chicken that's like 100 miles tall.
And Colonel Sanders was the man who slayed the Z's, and you've been feasting on its loins for the last 100 years. I'd eat that.
Right?
I would eat a monster.
Thanks, Kristen.
Monsters can be eaten. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah, they must taste like chicken.
Do we want to show a few of the pictures of the power washing today before she goes, or?
It's probably off to bed already.
Oh, okay.
But, by the way, Sam, I've tried 3 times now to make you a moderator. Apparently, I've hit my ceiling.
Fair enough.
I've tried 3 times, and every time you type, you're still gray.
Here, take off one of mine, because I think I got 2 of them.
I don't know.
Cool.
There's a ceiling.
Type something again, because maybe it went through. I don't know.
I'm getting a Manscaped ad. Hold on a second.
Yeah, the ads pop up. So from time to time, and they happen while we're live too. So it's weird.
Oh, they're gonna get that money.
Yep. Nope. Still, it's great. I don't know. Well, I'll figure something out. I'll delete someone.
Maybe Sam logs out and logs in. It'll be okay.
Delete the deviants. I'll just use Mikey Famine.
I don't know how to do that.
Oh.
You have to be on there for me to do it.
What am I saying? I'll just do it. What am I talking about here?
What are you talking about here?
What am I talking about over here? Over here and over there.
Oh, that's quite good, actually, that accent.
When I lived in Long Island, I lived with this ginormous Italian family, and they were all from the Bronx, and they had me bugging up from the way that they talked. I'm like, the fucking guys laughing all the fucking time for no fucking reason. I'm like, yo, y'all should hear y'all. It is.
Y'all
great.
should hear y'all. Y'all should hear that.
Y'all should hear y'all. This is hilarious. I do not mean to be rude, but I am getting a big giggle out of today.
Yeah, that's pretty funny, actually.
Y'all. Yeah, it's tough being in a room with New Yorkers.
You know, it's quiet. Maybe we'll put some of these pictures up, Neil.
What's that?
We can put the pictures up. It's gotten kind of quiet, so.
So the first one you shared, that was where you.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna cycle through them here once you put it up. So this is before I did any cleaning, and there's another picture. So people who've been watching the renovations will be familiar with this. This is where we're gonna build the studio. It's also going to be my office because it's at my home, but I'm going to have a dedicated part for the studio so it'll look really good on screen. So here, it's kind of rainy weather, but this is like the before pictures. This is the patio outside as well. So yesterday there was a bit of a leak at the top left corner of the cement that you can see there, the concrete. So because there was a lot of rain yesterday, so I know we have to fix some stuff up in the roof, which I'm not surprised about anyway. So I just didn't know it was leaking that much. But all this gets cleaned out. This is after the power washing of this area now. And so it's the ground is much cleaner, and the smell from the rats before is completely gone now. This is outside. So here is before I started carving the letters TNT into it. And here we go. We have TNT, True North Talk, carved into that. And just having a little bit of fun, so we have some nice pictures and footage to use later if we decide we want to. And then there's another view of it. Just having lots of fun. Another shot of the inside as it's starting to dry a little bit. And then I decided to spend a little more time and make get a little more elaborate with our domain names. TrueNorthTalk.ca is the main one for the show, for the program, and we can flip that upside down. Here it's better because the light isn't reflecting on everything so much. We can see it more clearly, and side view, and so you can see that's where the TNT is all relative out in the deck. So this makes it all relevant to the TNT, the whole program that we're doing. Hope everybody can see everything okay. So this picture turned out quite well, I think. So, last shot. So that's that. What I'll do is, Neil, I can start a video in a moment here showing some of the pressure washing stuff as well, if people are interested.
I can watch pressure washing, like, you know,
oh my god,
it's fucking popcorn. It's like beyond satisfying. Oh my.
Oh really? Okay.
He's already got a pressure washing boner going right now. So.
All right, then we're gonna have to do this for sure. Okay, so here we go. Select screen view.
IQ.
Mm-hmm.
Are you playing? Let me know when it starts, Neil.
I bought a power washer and I bought a foam cannon. I love washing my car once a week.
Neil,
It's my favorite thing.
Neil, let me know when you're sharing it.
You is.
I'm sharing it right now.
Okay, so here's the video. So here what I'm thinking to do is take this video and turn the volume down there, and play it in reverse at high speed so it looks like we're actually drawing the picture out.
Drawing it in filth.
Yeah. This patio's never been power washed since we bought this place 9 years ago. So it makes for a great opportunity to put these kind of things together. Yeah.
Just keep doing what you're doing.
Okay, I won't speed it up because somebody wants to see this. So.
Let me savor every moment.
Up, down, up.
Look at that E. That E doesn't even see it coming. Oh, yeah.
Playing in reverse will be kind of a neat thing because we'll play at high speed in reverse, and then it'll look like we're uncovering these words, I guess. So I used a different. And the reason
Puddle Duck, we will be it's going to be like an office, like an actual studio. So.
Yeah, these are early renovation stage. So, and the reason some of these letters are not completely disappearing here is because I used a different bit at the end, which is much smaller and more fine and more powerful when it hits the cement, the concrete. And so, of course, those are dug down a little deeper. But I later on I got that cleaned up, but that's not in the video. So, yeah, I went over these multiple times. But yeah, we've got rain falling right now. I prefer to do pressure washing in the rain. So, and the reason I do barefoot is because I can feel where some parts they look okay, but I can still feel it's a little slippery and needs more work. So that's the end of that video for now. I'm just going to pop up another video here.
You have great legs, folks.
I was about to say, Randolph got them gams, boy. Ooh, looking good, Randolph. Damn, son.
Gee.
You can squat about 630, I bet.
Okay, so yeah, here's another one. Okay, so this is the other one to keep the other pressure washing people happy. So,
yeah, I don't think IQ was finished.
Yeah, can you play this one?
Okay,
You gotta
Oh
finish
no, I'm good. I'm good.
there's bonus material here for you then, buddy.
finish off, man. This is the happy ending.
It's Kleenex time here at the True North Talk. You know what? I should honestly take this video and then roll the credits at the end of it. So like the intro will be like it being painted on, and then this is just the end of the show with like
Clean it up.
with somebody whistling.
Oh, you know, the Andy Griffith show.
Yeah.
That whistling.
It's so much funnier when
Everybody.
Yeah. That's I've got ear protection in there. That's what the little orange thing is. So this machine's kind of loud.
So what's to kick it off?
Randolph, love you
We'll
long time.
We'll kick off the show with AC/DC and then end it with the Andy Griffith whistle.
Oh no, we're gonna start off with something better than AC/DC. It'll be something from Neil's band.
Okay.
Oh, that's funny.
Wow, better than AC/DC. Jeez, I don't even know if I agree with that.
Yeah, when I tell people you're famous, you don't even agree with that.
Well, because I'm not.
Yeah, you are. You just don't know it.
You're kind of famous, mate. I hate to break it to you.
No, I'm not. I'm well known in a certain community, and that's about it.
That's fame, dude.
There we go. Those are the two videos I've got. So that's part of what was done today there, Neil.
You were about to trip right there, weren't you?
That cord almost got him.
You saw that, right?
That's how we do things in Canada here. We'll do all this hard work barefoot.
We pressure wash shit in the rain.
Yeah, man. It's just really clean.
Well,
Yeah,
I prefer to do pressure washing in the rain as well, because then it doesn't blow dust all over the place. The rain keeps the dust down.
Yeah, that's right.
And then also the neighbors aren't out enjoying their yards in the rain, so I'm not disturbing the neighbors too much.
I spray mine directly at my neighbors because they're loud and they piss me off. Because I spent an extra $12 on Amazon and got a foam cannon so I can cover my whole car in an inch of bubbles in about 2 minutes. Oh, it's great.
Nice.
I just shoot it at their kids as they ride by on their little Razor scooters because I hate them. Can't stand the little bat. No, they're fine.
Yeah, you're going to be one of the, when you're real old, Mikey, I bet you'll be one of those guys sitting on the on the porch in the on the rocking
off my
chair with the
lawn!
shotgun. Get off my lawn! Yeah, stop skateboarding on my street.
I can
You
just see
know-
Mikey sitting there, like waiting behind his car or something on Halloween, with like red food dye filled water cannon or something, just waiting for kids to come by to spray them in fake blood.
I'll be the dude dressed, just coated in fake blood, just come screaming, running at them with a live chainsaw, like just taking it way too far past scary into the. This is probably dangerous.
Well, 5 or 6 years ago here on Halloween night, I was I was sitting on the chair next to the bush, looking at my front door. And these teenage girls come up to the front door, but they don't ring the doorbell. They just stand there gossiping for a good 2 or 3 minutes. And then finally one of them starts to ring the doorbell. And then, okay. And then I decide, okay, I'll see how long they go on for. Another minute goes by. And then one of them just starts to notice me. So I just stand up and calmly say, hello, happy Halloween. And they freak out. They're not expecting me to move because I was still. They thought I was part of the decorations, I think. I had the cowboy hat and everything. It's easy to hide. And then they're just
sitting in the
running
clothes you're
around.
wearing
Oh
now.
my god, oh my god, oh my god. And the whole in circles for another 30 seconds or so. It's intense.
It's because I've never had the opportunity to do Halloween. Is it as fun as people
What?
make it to be?
It's a lot of fun.
You never
We
went
usually
trick or
get-
treating?
Wait.
We get anywhere from 300 to 500 kids at our door on Halloween. Although this year I expect it'll be quite low because of the COVID-19 coronavirus stuff. But
Yeah.
normally that's what we see.
Wait,
And-
hold on.
On their
Sam, you
mask.
celebrated Halloween?
yeah. I decorate
No,
the
no,
yard.
Sam,
I decorate everything. I go full out.
He's talking to me. I think Randolph asking if why I've never done Halloween.
Yeah.
Oh.
Basically,
Don't like fun.
I grew up where Halloween was the devil, and so I was never allowed to do it.
Gotcha. All right.
Oh, that's so sad.
We're gonna
Actually,
have to fix that.
I think we talked a little bit about that during our chat, Sam.
Yeah, because it was equivalent of Harry Potter
Mm.
Oh, that's
no,
pure
not
evil.
equivalent. It's different.
or D&D, scary and evil.
Gotcha.
Yeah, those things fit into Halloween, but they're definitely not equivalent.
Mm-mm.
No,
Yeah, Halloween's much more than that.
D&D. has-
Nothing evil about a sexy cat.
No, we're gonna have to fix that. Don't worry about it.
Halloween, what I describe to a lot of people, Halloween's a time when people can dress up and pretend to be make believe anything they want to be, and we all know it's not real, but we're all having fun.
Well, in my culture, it's celebration of the dead, Day of the Dead. You actually celebrate the people who have died.
There are
Yeah,
people here doing that too. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that's common, and it's a respectful gesture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's really not very little religious thing about it. It's just honoring the dead.
Yes. Agnostic pagan mum. How can one not celebrate Halloween? Pentecostalism.
Okay. I mean, I didn't want to like assume, but I figured it was something like that. I just for a moment I was like, wait a minute, no, how could you not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As
But I
soon as I started watching anime and a lot of my friends started going to conventions, I was like, oh, so y'all get to do this shit whenever you
All
want.
the time, yeah. That,
Oh, nah, this is
Hold on.
up.
and those costumes, yo, they put some work.
Yeah.
It's work because I used to do a lot of banquets in hotels, big hotels, and I would see them, like they would stay at the hotels and they would store their costumes, and I got pictures of stuff, and we'd put that shit on and play with it. But you like they actually build like these transformers out of cardboard, and they transform, and they didn't look like cardboard. Like it was very well done, man. Props on them.
Oh, I see some great costumes on Halloween. People come to the door and it's like, wow. And then near the end of the night, there's groups of teenagers will come by, no costumes. I still give them candy. Nobody ever eggs our house.
I wish if I was
I'm
cool,
still trying
I
to
would
complete. I'm still trying to complete this fucking costume.
Rorschach.
Yeah, Rorschach. Because this thing, the shapes all move when you breathe.
Oh,
So
very
it's
cool.
Like
Oh.
like his mask. So,
What do
but
you
I
need,
gotta
trench
get
coat?
I gotta get the trench coat and the hat. I have some gloves I can use, and I've got black pants, or brown pants or whatever. But I've tried last year, and it's really hard to find the hat, the proper fedora that he wears. It's tough to find.
Someone probably made it.
Well, no, it's just a fedora you can buy, right? But I'll have to, if I don't want to get an actual one, because they're fucking not cheap. They're like $260 each.
Try the secondhand stores here, Neil.
That's what I've done.
Oh,
No
they don't have.
And even the Halloween style fedoras, which they had, they don't even come close to fitting on my head.
Yeah, it's got that. It like not. I guess it's not a belt, but like that ribbon is very thick, and it's got a very, very specific shape on the brim. Yeah. I can imagine that's hard to find.
Yeah. Eventually, I'll put it all together. So, I mean, I've got tons of costumes. I've got the demonic jester. I've got a Spider-Man one. I've got the Starfleet uniform. I've got all kinds of shit here. I've got Jack Skellington. I just might pull off Jack Skellington again this year.
Ooh.
My when I used to DJ, we used to always have we always used to go big for Halloween because that was everyone's chance to go to the bar and dress up, and it would be a good fun drinking time. And this dude came as one of the Star Trek red shirts with fucking a big shard of something sticking out of his side. I was like, ah.
Of course, we do Halloween in Canada. Ski.
Because they always die in the first 5 minutes. Got it. Some tragic accident. Poor red shirts.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Simply
true,
Secular, the other 604 atheist.
Are you popping
Yeah.
up on screen? I don't see it.
They started.
What?
Were you popping those up on screen? I didn't see them.
Popping what up on screen?
The comments.
I did for a bit, but
Oh.
and
Okay.
I saw you guys figured out how to do it using even through OBS.
Who?
I'm pretty sure it was one of your.
Oh,
Stream-
we cheated. We did the Facebook through StreamYards, and then I ran everything else through it. But I got a solution for all these problems coming very soon. God, I miss sleep. But it's gonna be amazing once everything's said and done. It's gonna be amazing.
Hey, Mikey,
Hello,
did you get the
Nathaniel.
delete stuff figured out by any chance, or is that still ongoing?
I have found what a lot of people said the solution is, and I'm not a big fan of it. But I don't know that.
There's your fedora for you.
Yeah, it is that style too, but it's brown with a lighter shaded ribbon around it. And I got to get the scarf too, the cream colored scarf.
The ascot.
The ascot, yeah.
You can be
Sorry,
looking,
Mikey, you were saying.
you can be looking damn dapper. Yeah, I've found some solutions to that, and it seems not even worth it. It doesn't. What they're saying to do makes no sense. But
Okay.
and I don't know that it would help, but we can talk.
Yeah, we've still got time to figure this stuff out. So, worst comes to worst, just put on a second machine, I guess, and pipe stuff through somehow.
Yeah,
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll find a
Don't
solution.
do it. Don't do it.
I know somebody who's got a lot of expertise in OBS, so maybe I'll ask him and see if he has some suggestions.
Oh, we're upgrading, baby. We're not using OBS anymore.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna be on the good shit.
Well, you still got to talk to me so we can fucking work this shit out for this show too.
Agreed.
All right. And on that note, guys, it's getting close to 9, and I have to take off. So, I'm not going to bed. I have other place I got to go to. So, and I'm going for brunch with my mom tomorrow.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Oh, I like doing brunch with my mom. I was thinking waffles, but the places they're all fucking right downtown Vancouver, the good places, and I really hate parking down there. So
Yeah.
I decided, you know what? We'll go to the Dutch Panacoke House and have some of those gigantic panacokes.
Right.
So it's not going to be chicken and waffles.
Nope.
Because that
No.
shit is the bomb.
I know. I love that shit. I can go to IHOP and get it there, but it's not the same.
I
Nah,
got
man.
what's out here, baby.
Roscoe's.
Yeah. The
Bam.
original rock.
Roscoe's, yeah, I've heard good things. Anyway, I went to a wonderful place in Austin for chicken and waffles, and holy cow, fuck that. Seasoning they put on the chicken was amazing.
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
There's about a tablespoon of dirt they put in there. You'll never know.
that's okay.
That's why
okay.
can't nobody get it right. There's a little bit of dirt right up in there.
The right syrup.
Yeah, that or maybe some dim sum. I haven't had chicken feet in a while, and I love that shit. Oh, so good, man, so good.
I had that happen. I was several years ago. I was hitchhiking around the country, and I ended up hanging out with this guy in Boston. There's this Chinese guy who barely spoke any English, and he took me to this restaurant in like the basement of some building, and he's trying to explain these different dishes because everything's in Chinese. I mean, like the no smoking sign is in Chinese, and he's like, "Yeah, there's like this chicken, and there's like a sauce." And it's kind of sweet. And I'm thinking like General Tso's. I'm like, yeah, I'll have some of that. And I get this thing and open it up, and it's just full of these chicken feet. And there's like the claws and everything.
Hell yeah.
That was
I'm like,
General.
all right, man. I mean,
that was General Souls.
I mean, I'm like, I'm Cajun. I eat anything, so I'll try this. So I grab one of these and I pop it in my mouth, and it's it's like crushed glass, man. These things were stabbing me. I was getting attacked, man. It was a raptor.
Like eating a shrimp tail.
You're not supposed to pop it.
Where were you
chew
again?
the meat off of the
Well,
feet.
that's what he did. I said, "How do you eat this?" And he just grabbed one. He threw it in his mouth, and he goes, and then spits out all these bones and claws. It was like a magic trick. I'm
Like sunflower seeds.
Yeah,
That's the Chinese way.
He David Copperfield that shit.
Well,
And
were
so
you
I grab
mad,
this thing
motherfucker?
and I do it, and it was miserable, man. I was getting annihilated. I mean, this thing, I had Freddy Krueger in my mouth. It was no fun. And I ate like 5 of these bitches, and all I got was like some like
bloody,
leathery
torn up mouth.
skin. It was like
Spit that in
it was like chewing on boot leather and broken glass. And I'm like, can I get something else? And he's like, oh yeah. And he orders this other thing for me, and it was like this orange duck. And I'm like, yeah, man, it's duck and it's orange. Awesome. Man, they took this duck and they cooked it in this orange stuff, and then they just chopped it up with the bones still in it. So I was right back to eating broken glass again. It's like, why are there sharp bones in everything? So
Well, you're not supposed to eat those.
Most of those dishes aren't like that. Those are just a few specialist dishes he introduced you to.
I think he just hated
I
me.
think
or
they were
something,
trolling
man.
you. Yeah.
Maybe so. You know, I should take him down to Louisiana and just give him a thing of crawfish, and he'll be like, "How do you eat it?" And I'll just be like, "Figure it out, bitch.
You rip it apart and fucking chew
Just
the meat.
put the whole thing in your mouth." And just,
Oh yeah, you want to talk
Spit
about
out
chewing
the
on broken
shells.
glass?
Yo, I'm just sorry that you had a foul experience.
You were fucking waiting to drop that. I was gonna say bomb, but it was more like a sizzle.
Morgan Ravenwolf has a question in the chat. He's wondering if we're all still awake. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're still awake.
Apparently.
I'm
I'm
asleep.
It sounds
might-
asleep, but
I
apparently
might-
still able to communicate.
I mean, it is 5 in the morning.
Fair enough.
I might be here.
IQ, I'm sure, still with us, but
Yeah.
I'm here.
okay. Well, I got to wrap it up, guys. So,
Thanks a lot, Neil. Always appreciate these streams.
well, it's always a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
Jason,
Indeed.
thanks again for joining me as my guest of honor for the day or for
hey
the
man,
evening.
thanks
I
for
should say.
having me, man.
It was a lot of fun, and I'm not going to soon forget that chicken feet story. That's for sure.
I'm not gonna forget it, man. It's like a involuntary tongue piercing.
Yeah.
Involuntary tongue slaughter.
Oh, this is great. Blood dripping out of your mouth.
Right? I tried, man. I ate like 5 of them. I tried. They tasted good.
They do taste good. Yeah, the meat is
Yeah,
really
yeah.
Tender and
Just kind of
yeah,
liquid.
it's good. Yeah, anytime, Siski. Glad you enjoyed it. Siski's is one of the believers in the simulation theory, which I think is hysterical. But it's funny how the simulation theory was never a thing until we developed technology that could do that.
It's a simulation inside a
That's right.
simulation inside
Daniel-
a simulation.
Mikey, they're wondering if you're watching the chat.
Now I am.
Anyway, thanks everyone for tuning in. Oh, sorry, Sam.
Sorry, I think.
Oh, there it is.
I just believe asked a question a minute ago. They were saying out of the panel, who'd be Neo, who'd be Morpheus, and who'd be Agent Smith.
Right.
That's only three people though. There's like 8 or 7 of us.
Ton of them. There's lots of them in the movie too. So
Yeah.
I want to be one of those creepy octopus machines that runs everywhere.
No, the Sentinels.
Yeah, that's a.
I wouldn't mind being
I
Agent Smith.
Sentinels.
Agent Smith always gets to come back. He's part of this.
Yeah.
You can put me down as Morpheus.
Anyways, all right. Thanks everyone for tuning in and hanging out with us. If you missed the original interview, there is a link below. You can go over there and check it out. And then there on that one, there are links to all of Dragons of Genesis stuff, so you can check out the podcast and follow them on Twitter, Facebook, etc. Oh, come on, man. We've already had this one.
What?
You mentioned octopus. I had to put this up.
Why so many eyes?
Yeah, cats only need 2.
Octopus only has 2.
Yeah. It's the internet.
There you
It's
go.
more like a Cthulhu thing or something, I guess.
Yeah.
Probably.
All right. Or the beast with 1,000 eyes or some shit like that. But anyways, until next time, guys, with the whole COVID thing, remember to be safe and be well, and above all, be kind. Thank you to all my wonderful patrons. Without you guys, the show would totally suck, because every time I'm able to upgrade and do better things with the channel, and there's even better things coming, so stay tuned for the better things that are coming. I just said that. Never mind. But anyways, at the end of these things, like I always say, like the late, great Carl Sagan once said, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. We'll see you guys next time.